Hi everybody, it's Gail with Shabby Cottage Studio. I'm here today to share a new digital kit that I just listed in my Etsy store. It's called Cottage Lane and I think it's beautiful. It's got approximately 40 pages. There's journal pages, there's background pages, there are a couple of collage sheets or tear sheets, whatever you prefer to call them, and a lot of pages of ephemera. So let's get started and I'll go through this. This is a very soft, dreamy, pastel-y, cottage-y kind of kit. So if that's what you like, maybe you'll like this. Now, these are the journal pages, so of course they are designed to fold in half to make a journal page. Isn't that pretty? Like I said, very soft and dreamy. Kind of ethereal was what I was going for, and I hope I achieved it. There's pinks and lavenders or lilacs, whatever color you prefer to call it, greens and blues, and a little bit of yellow, I think, in this kit. The pinks are more of a peachy pink than like a deep pink, like a red pink. And lots of roses, butterflies. These are some linen, some vintage linens that I have, and I scanned them in and then added them to this journal page. Sweet little birdie. This is another piece of vintage lace that I scanned in and added to this journal page. And again, like I said, very dreamy and soft, so I don't know if you can see it, but there is a large house back here and a little landscape swan here and more roses and two young ladies. Looks like she is reading some correspondence, maybe. Another lady who's dealing with correspondence. This is my favorite, I think, my favorite journal page. Again, another cottage image, a rose, a bee. Aren't they beautiful? Those roses are just gorgeous. Two young ladies talking and walking, sharing secrets and stories. We've got another kind of ethereal, coming out of the fog look of a cottage. Some little wildflowers down here. And again, more roses. I think this one's sweet. Again, in the background, way in the background is a cottage. I like to think that it was her home, and that she's been down to the cottage stream or river or little pond and has been fishing, and she caught her fish. A couple little bees, another wildflower, another journal page. I just think this one's kind of elegant looking. This page, I actually found, this is a scanned image of an old calendar. Now, there was some not good information here, so I took that out and added another image there, and I just think it turned out so pretty. I put some lavender in the background. If you fold this in half, you've got a nice sweet journal page there. And another one there. So, some cottages in the distance. I think that turned out really sweet. And then this is the last journal page. Excuse me. I had to take a drink of water. And I love this image of this dried rose. Somebody's little keepsake. This young lady, it looks like she's doing some embroidery, and these gorgeous hydrangeas and the little bird's nest underneath. It says it's an image from a page, a lady's home journal page. So those are the journal pages. And then the background pages, you know, can be used for so many different things. You can use them to back the journal pages. You can use them as journal pages. Each one of these could be used as a journal page, and then you can collage on it or put focal points or, you know, whatever you want to put on it, tuck spots, pockets, corners, whatever. So I think that background pages are very valuable to journal making. And of course, you can make tags out of them and envelopes, just about anything you can think of you can use with the background pages. So these are pages that kind of help tie the whole kit together, and they don't have any particular focal point on them or particular image on them. Again, they're just made to be kind of sitting in the background so that you can do your thing with them. Some stripes, horizontal stripes, in kind of a soft sagey green. More green, these some checks. A lavender damask. I don't know, I've heard it pronounced. I've always said damask, I've heard people pronounce it damask, so I don't know. And then this page, these two pages are the same with one exception. This one has horizontal lines on it, so if you wanted to use it as a journal page, you've got lines for writing. This is the same image, but it doesn't have the horizontal lines. And the lines that you see in the vertical lines that you see in these images are because I used a very old paper. I think it was from a book. It could have been an old magazine. And those are in the original paper, and I did not take them out. So they're not an error in the background page. They're supposed to be there. More stripes, vertical stripes this time in blue and in pink. Got some blue checks. Lavender with the little green polka dots. I think polka dots and checks and stripes are perfect together, especially for a cottage look. And kind of a checkerboard and floral look here. Makes me think of wallpaper with the striping on it. Wallpaper definitely goes with cottage. Now this, okay, this is what I was talking about, kind of a bonus sheet, and that's why my count might be a little off. This is the original collage sheet that I created, or tear sheet, if you will. It could be used in many ways. You could actually use it as a journal page, or you could tear the images and use them for collaging. I duplicated that image, but then I softened it way down, and I kind of like that look, so I just threw it into the kit. You may or may not like it, but I think it could find a good use. And then this is the second collage sheet, tear sheet. I think it's pretty. Of course, I love collage sheets. I love to collage, so that's kind of my thing. Then we've got the ephemera. Excuse me while I take another drink. All right, let me just move these out of the way. There's 20 or 21 pages here. That's originally when I counted it, I had 40 pages, but like I said, I was working on a couple things and they got kind of tossed into the mix, so it may not be exactly 40. It might be 41 or 42. But what we've got here is, I believe you call these a cabinet card, maybe not. It was like from an old photograph album, and then the photos would slip in here. I like these because you can use this in a couple different ways. You could leave this blank, but then put your own image in here, picture, photo, whatever. But you can also cut this out and adhere something from the back, an image of something. You could put acetate on it on the back, and then put an image behind the acetate. You could put if you sandwich dried flowers between the acetate, or a laminated sheet, you could attach it to the back of this. But what I also like is, I like to have something on a page that is interactive with the next page. So you could cut this out, and then instead of attaching an image to the back of this to show through the hole that you cut, you attach the image to the next journal page, so that when you're looking at it, you're looking through this to the next page. So I like doing that. You may or may not. And a little postcard. These scallop circles are approximately 2 inches in diameter. Look at those cute kitties. And the swan. Okay. And the next one is another, I don't know, if you know what to call these, can you leave a comment below and let me know? Because I'm not exactly sure. This came from a photo album, so is it considered a cabinet card? I don't know. But it was, and I still have some of these. They're, it's made of a thick cardboard and then covered with a paper, and they would put the photos, I think they slipped them inside. I think it was more like a pocket. It doesn't, when I looked at the originals, it's not something that was glued to it, so there may have been a pocket behind it that they slipped a photo into. I'm not absolutely positive, but that's kind of my guess. And then this is another image from that old calendar that I picked up at a flea market that I showed you with the birds on it. This was another, and I just made it smaller and made a couple changes. So these, I like to do small journals within my journals, and so that's what I created these for. Again, I don't know if the camera, I think it picks it up. There's a kind of a rose in the center of that, but this also could be cut out and used, like I mentioned, on these. But these are meant to fold in half and then add papers to them and make a little notebook. Or you could use them, cut them apart and use them as journal cards, whatever ideas you can come up with. I mean, this journaling community is so creative. Like, you don't need me telling you what to do with something, but there might be beginners out there that are curious about things, so I like to mention that. And these are seed packets, and I just think seed packets are really sweet. They're a nice size to stick into a pocket or something, tuck spot. And then a couple more seed packets. Here's a small envelope. And just a couple little labels, and I figured you could add an image to them, you could stamp on them, whatever you want. And some tabs. And some tickets. Let me see if I turn it that way. And you can kind of see the tickets. And the tab designs. Another envelope. And then these are mini file folders. If I turn it this way, you can see the tabs. What I like to do with these is make, again, I like to make tiny little notebooks or journals, whatever you want to call them. And what I do is I just take my scrap papers and I tear them. I don't cut them. I just tear them to fit the file folder. And then I bind them in there, I've bound them in different ways. I've sewed them on the sewing machine right down the middle. I've stapled them. You can put one staple or 3 staples or 2 staples, however many you want. And I've also done 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And I love to make those, and I like sticking them in little pockets, or even an envelope or a tuck spot, just something a little unexpected. We've got a little dressmaker torso. This is an image from an old embroidery magazine, and I just thought, dressmaker torso, embroidery, yeah, it fits. Then this is an image of an old clock face, and I hope you can see it, but there is a cottage inside that. Then I gave you 3 large envelopes in this kit. There's this one, and there's this one, and there's this one. Now, these are large. In fact, let me show you. Once you cut them out, I was doing some fussy cutting last night. Once you cut these out and fold them, let's see, fold in the side tabs. I may be a little off because I'm doing this kind of fast. And then fold up the bottom, and then fold over the flap. Yeah, I'm a little crooked. I can tell because my flap was off. I could immediately tell. But you can see it's a good size envelope. So I made some cards that go in the envelopes. They're made to fit these envelopes. But what I wanted to say was, in fact, let me show you the cards. Okay, so these are the cards that go in the they don't have to go in the envelopes. They're sized to fit the envelopes if you choose to do so. Okay. Oh, I love these cottage scenes. Oops, upside down. So, I've got one cut out. Alright, so I've got this one cut out. As you can see, it's made to fit in the envelope. But the thing about large images, and I've got some large tags, and I'll show those to you in just a second. You can reduce the size of these envelopes. You can reduce the size of these cards and make them smaller. So I would prefer to make larger images and give those to you to give you more freedom to resize them smaller. It is easier to size smaller because you will keep your quality. Now, if you get ridiculous about it and try to go down to, an inch, you're not going to have the quality. But you can absolutely go smaller and keep your quality. When you take a small image and try to enlarge it, you can go a little ways up in size and your quality should be maintained. But you will reach a point where trying to enlarge something and you're going to go blurry. You're going to lose the quality of the image. So I would rather give you large images and so that you have the ability to reduce them in size. So that's my thinking behind these larger envelopes and larger cards. Okay. Let's see. I showed you the large cards. Well, let me show you the tags. What have I got? Oh, before I do that, these are small journal cards. I think they're 3x4. I don't remember. 3x4. Yeah, these are 3x4 journal cards. I also added some foldable tags. Now, what I like about foldable tags is that you only have to print it once. You fold it in half, glue it or double side tape, whatever your preference is. When you fold it, adhere it together, and you've got a tag with the image on the front and the back. But the other thing I like about foldable tags is that you can cut them in half, and then you have 2 separate tags, and you can do whatever you want on the back. So, and these again are approximately 2-inch diameter circles. These tags, sorry, I don't remember. From the top of the curve to the bottom is about 4, just shy of 4 3/4. So, and if you took just one side of the tag, it's 2.5. Okay, so 2.5 by 4 3/4. I have another sheet of the foldable tags, and then these tags. Did I? No, I didn't. I'm just thinking out loud. These tags are. I wanted some smaller tags, but these are short and squatty. Is what these are. And I just like them. They can tuck into a shorter pocket, if you will, or a shorter tuck spot that you might have at the bottom of a page. So those are what? 3 inches by 3 inches. Okay, so 3 by 3. So those are the foldable tags, your circles, and then these smaller tags. Again, you can make these smaller. Now, what I wanted to show you was the tags. I made the tags large. They're 3.5. Oh, my memory. I just, it's gone. 3.5 by 6. Yeah, 3.5 by about 6. One thing I gave you 9 tags. I love this one. It's so soft. And it's like a tag with a piece of vellum over the rows and then a piece of tape attached to the vellum. Okay, so like the envelopes and the large cards that go in the envelopes, I made these large so that you can reduce them if you choose to. I like large tags. A lot of people like large tags, but you could also make them smaller if you want it, as long as you keep the proportion. And then I gave you a couple of pockets that fit the tags. I did cut some out last night. I started working on cutting last night, and then I just, I got tired and I stopped. So here's the pocket unfolded, and then you just fold in the wings and the bottom, and you've got a nice sized pocket. If you wanted to put one of these tags in it, I made the pocket large enough so that these tags would have a place to rest, since they're large. Okay, so that's why I made this large. Again, another little image from the calendar. I just did a little couple banners, Home Sweet Home and Beautiful Garden. A couple of labels, if you will. You could leave as is or stamp something in there or put a butterfly or a bird or whatever you want inside of these. I think I have one of these. Did I cut one of those out? Yeah, I did. Okay. So you can see it's a nice size. Again, approximately 2 inches. And then last but not least, just a little fussy cut page. We've got the front of an envelope and a little doily, that was a perfume label, I think. This one I know is a vintage perfume label, and this is, I believe, a vintage perfume label with the text taken out. And then I love this hat. This hat is on one of the journal pages. I can just see a lady of the long ago wearing one of these, strolling through her garden with her little flower basket, cutting her long-stemmed roses and her peonies and her hydrangeas, and so she could take them inside and arrange them. And then another little garden hat. And these two lovely ladies, I just loved the dresses that they were wearing, so I added them. And then a few little birds, a couple little birds. I put them in different orientations. I like to, I always have something and it's like, gee, I wish it faced the other way. So when I do fussy cut images, I like to, when I can, to do 2 orientations of them, and then a couple butterflies. So that's it. I am going to, I think I'm going to finish cutting out all of these images and then playing with creating some things with them, with this kit. If you're interested in seeing what I end up doing, if you'd be kind enough to leave me a comment down below that you're interested in seeing it, then I will put it on my to-do list for making a video. Alright guys, you have a great day. I appreciate each one of you. I say hello and thank you, and you have my gratitude. All the new subscribers, you have my gratitude. You guys have my heart. I hope to be starting to add more videos. I've been trying to clear the decks around here with other things that had to get done, so maybe now I can start doing some more videos if you're interested. So take care, keep creative, talk to you soon, bye.